Okay, so I'm recording. Today is the 26th of January. So if you're watching the recording of this, that's when it is. We had a new coach call last week, and we just briefly touched on a few things. I was about to leave for California, so because we have so many new coaches, I thought it would be helpful. And you guys are all kind of in different spots because you signed up literally like today or yesterday or like a week ago. And so wherever you are, hopefully you'll get something out of this. And then I'm going to leave it open for you to ask me questions because all of y'all are new and everyone can probably benefit from questions and things that you guys all have. So, okay, the first couple things that I wanted to talk about. I'm going to meet you guys really quick. How do I do that? Can I mute all of you at the same time? Or if you're there, can you mute yourself? That way I don't, let's see. Ooh, we got more people joining. Okay. So the first thing, and you guys saw me post a ton of this in our team page. He's like cracking up over there, about Success Club. So how many of you don't know what Success Club is? Raise your hand if you're like, I have no idea what that is. Okay, awesome. Good. Okay, that's good. I mean, it's not good, but it's good that you're saying that, so I can help you. Okay, I'm going to show you this graphic that I put in our team page, and I will screenshot for you or share my screen for you. And basically, Success Club is kind of the way that we basically measure not only your success, but also it just is a good indicator of you actually moving forward in your business. So Success Club is measured by different points that are assigned to different things that people order and buy. And Success Club 5 and 10 are the two main goals that you have. Success Club 5 means that you've helped 3 people. So when you guys joined as a coach, most likely, unless you were a challenger first and then decided to coach, most likely you joined with something called a challenge pack, and you joined with a program and Shakeology, and that's called a challenge pack. That is like the best, most cost-effective way to help somebody because it's much cheaper than getting a program and getting Shakeology separately. It's, that combined cost for much cheaper, and it's just the best starting point. So that is worth 2 Success Club points. So anytime that you help somebody, you want to make it your goal to help somebody help 3 people a month with a challenge pack, which gives you 2 Success Club points. Now, if somebody just is totally against that and really does not want the workouts, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but if they really don't want the workouts and they just want Shakeology, then what you see here is that you get 1 point for Shakeology. Okay, so this graphic just kind of shares, it's just a good thing for you to maybe save and have for yourself, like, okay, this is what that means. So 1 point, I get 1 point for selling somebody Shakeology, and 2 points for helping somebody with a challenge pack, Shakeology, and a program. Now, the benefit of hitting Success Club is that if you hit Success Club 5 down here, that means that if you are an Emerald coach, so an Emerald coach means that you have 2 coaches that are working the business underneath you, whether they're actually working it or they're just there for the discount on their Shakeology. But Success Club 5 gets you free leads. So when you're watching infomercials and or hearing things on the radio about Beachbody, those are free leads, or people who call in and they're like, I want a free coach. I want somebody to help me. And so Beachbody just divvies them out among everybody who is an Emerald coach and who has hit Success Club 5 that month. So that means that those are potential people who could purchase from you, people who could potentially be customers of yours, anything along those lines. And so those are people that every month you'll get a few of them, and you can email them or text them or message them and just introduce yourself. I have a little note that I send to mine. I just introduce myself, and I tell them, I'm so glad that they have signed up for a free coach and that I would love to support them. And then I share with them, about whatever my current challenge group is, and I invite them to join us. Now, if you hit Success Club 10, that's helping, double the amount, so about 6 people a month. That is, you get free Shakeology leads. So people who go online or through an infomercial, they order Shakeology, you actually get that commission. So for me, this month I've already gotten 2 or 3 Shakeology leads, and that could be anywhere from a couple $100 worth of commission to $30 of commission. And it's basically just free money for helping people and for hitting that goal for yourself. And then these are people who have signed up, they want a coach, and they also bought Shakeology at that point when they signed up for being assigned a different coach. And so you just get the benefit of having that, that little extra income. So those are your 2 goals a month, are to hit Success Club 5 or 10. And it's whatever your goal is. Remember that when you sign up as a coach, you have the option of what you want to do. Whether you're just a discount coach and you want just the 25% discount on your Shakeology and you don't really want to post and share and do things like I do, or maybe your upline coach does, that's totally fine. Or you may want to work the business, but you might be one that just wants to kind of do it as a hobby, maybe just a couple hours a week, here and there. You're going to post every so often, but you're not going to like really go after it. Or you could be like me, and I was like, I have to get out of my full-time job, so I'm going to post and comment and like and invite my little tush off. And so that's what I did, and I made it my goal to hit Success Club 10 every month from the month that I signed up. And so that means that I had 6 people that I was searching for every single month to help. So, when I'm going through things and talking to people, I had that goal in mind of all the different kinds of people that I wanted to help. So that is basically in a nutshell what Success Club is. It's just a good way to measure your business moving forward. If you are hitting Success Club every month, you're helping, even just Success Club 5, you're just helping 3 people a month. That is good. That means that your business is continuing to move forward. That means that you're helping 3 people who could in turn become coaches of yours, which that just helps, further the cycle of you potentially earning some income and, whatever your goal is for the business. Does anyone have questions about what Success Club is after me kind of explaining it a little bit? And like I said, all of this stuff, there's so much information when you sign up as a coach, and it's like good on one end because you feel like you have all these resources, but then on the other hand, you're like, holy cow, like there's so many, things for me to look at, and it can be overwhelming. So my one thing to tell you is to just go for it. Like just start posting, just start sharing, and everything else is going to come with that. If you focus on just sharing your journey and talking to people that maybe you haven't talked to in years and commenting on pictures and things, this Success Club points and all this kind of stuff, that's going to just come with it because you're going to be inspiring people no matter what through that. So don't get too overwhelmed with all the little nitty-gritty details, because otherwise you're going to drive yourself bonkers and just get really overwhelmed. That's just unnecessary at the beginning. So just focus on the small things like that. But does anyone have questions about what Success Club is or anything about that?
I had one question.
Yes. Hey, Jordan. Good, you got on.
I did, thanks. So for like getting and you may have said this right before I got on, about like the summit trip, is it you get to sit?
That's my next thing. Okay, let me tell you that.
Okay, go.
Thank you. That's my next thing. Okay, so in line with Success Club, and you're going to learn about this in your new coach training, depending upon, where you are in that training. In that new coach training, you should have gotten, if I'm your upline coach, you definitely got it from me. But if I'm not, then make sure that you either message me or message your upline coach, the one that you signed up with, to make sure you get your new coaches packet, because in there is the link to our Google Drive, which is like all of the different resources. From the very first day that I became a coach, I started saving every little thing that I did so that you guys wouldn't have to reinvent the wheel, that you just have everything there for you. Graphics, posting schedules, scripts, things to say, how to invite somebody to a challenge group, what to comment with, things like that. And that's all in there. And then the other link is a link to your training website. And so that's going to be your most important thing to kind of start with. It just really lays out everything for you that you should be doing as a new coach. Just the basics, how to set up your website, how to start posting on social media. You'll see a couple of videos of mine in there that I did trainings on as far as social media, and then also how to just attract business building coaches, how to find people that are like you that want to build the business with you. So in line with that, Jordan was just asking about Success Club. One of the first things that you'll learn in your training is about Success Club. And then there's something called being a success starter, which is hitting Success Club 5 within the first 3 consecutive months of your business. So you should write that down. So you need to know when your date was that you signed up as a coach. So say I signed up January 15th. Okay, so my first full month of the business, I need to hit Success Club either by the end of January. If I don't, totally fine, because my first full month that I need to hit it in would be all of February. So, and then it would be March and April. Does that make sense? So whatever month you signed up in, and they do that because if you were to sign up on like the 28th or something like that, that might not be enough time for you to hit Success Club in that month. And that's just not fair. And so you could try to hit it within just a few days by the end of the month and help 3 people, which is awesome. And people totally do it. But you have the option of going to the next full month and then the next 2 after that. So your first 3 consecutive full months in the business, if you hit Success Club 5, then you get a free ticket to go to Summit, which is like the huge Beachbody conference in Nashville this summer in July, which you do not want to miss. It is so much fun. So that pays for your full ticket. And then you just have to get yourself there. But everything else is covered when you get there. So that's definitely a really good goal to have as far as helping 3 people a month from the very, very beginning. Because once you get that ticket, then it's awesome and you get to go for free. And if you were following me or maybe the coach that you signed up with, if you're following their journey, months ago when they were at Summit, then I'm sure you saw pictures of all the trainers are there. You get to meet all the big like corporate people. There's all kinds of like shopping and stuff like that, and just a bunch of team building things and personal development. And I mean, it's just incredible. So you definitely don't want to miss that if you have a big goal of actually building your business. And it's just fun because it's like a bunch of girl time. And then my husband like heads up a big golf trip for all the guys, like all the husbands to go play golf and stuff. And, so it's really fun and it's really family oriented. So your kids can come and that kind of thing too. So I was 35 weeks pregnant when I was there last year. So hopefully I won't be pregnant this year. I'll just have a kid. But okay, so questions about Success Club and then Success Starter. So Success Club is like 5 or 10, helping 5 people a month at minimum. And if you do that within the first 3 consecutive full months of your business, then you get that free ticket, which is awesome. So questions about that before I move on.
So is that like, so if we joined like January 15th, you have until the end of February to get your first 5?
Right.
Okay, so it's not the first 30 days. It's not like by February 15th.
No, it's the first full month. Yeah.
Okay. And so it'd be like February, March, and April. Got it. Okay, that was my confusing. That makes me feel so much better.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And they do that because, for a long time ago, they had done just like within that month that you signed up, and it was like, well, that's not fair because what if somebody signs up at the very end of the month? That's not enough time. So it's a full, complete month of your business. Yeah, and then the next 2 right after it. So, and it's just 3 people. So if you think about that, that's not, you have all month to be sharing and posting and commenting. And we're going to talk about your power of 3s in a second and how to even get, people to be looking at your stuff so that you could actually help 3 people, which is, you can totally do it. So, okay. Any other questions about that before we move on? Okay, cool. The next thing is Team Cup. So if you just joined, then you may be like, what the heck are you talking about? And if you joined a couple weeks ago, then you probably saw us all posting about that. But basically, I want all of you to get on a Team Cup team. And what it is it's free. It's just like a fun competition that we do every quarter. Either it's called Team Cup or Fall Classic in the fall. And basically you get with a group of 4 other coaches. So it's 5 of you in a group, and one person decides to be the team captain, and they send all of your coach IDs in, and they put in your emails and everything. And the incentive is that every time, all of your points are going together. So if like 5 of us on here, if we all hit Success Club 5, then all of our points go together, and there's different like ranks and things like that. So for you to get different prizes. So it just kind of makes it like a fun competition, and it could be like a funny bobblehead, or it could be like actual like gear, like t-shirts and clothes. I think we got like a selfie stick one time. What else did we get? Different kinds of hats that are like, I think we got a size hat, like a flat bill hat signed by Shaun T one time. There's just all kinds of fun things. So it's just like a fun way to earn prizes, and also just to really push your butt because you feel that weight of wanting to help your team. Because to earn prizes and stuff, you have to not only hit Success Club, but your team has to have a certain amount of points. And so all of that can be found in your back office, and I'll show you where. But so if you haven't gone on a team, then after this call, there's been a bunch of different posts in our team page and the Inspiration Crew page. But go hop on there and just make a post and say, I still need a Team Cup team, and there's plenty of people who are still looking for another person. So totally free, just another, and you don't have to, but I really highly recommend it. It's just a fun way to kind of push yourself to really work for Success Club and to help find those people to help, and then just get some fun prizes in the way of it. Okay.
Actually, real quick.
Yes.
If our coach hasn't asked for our coach ID number, is there a way for them to find it without us sending it to them? Because the group that I'm in, I don't think the captain has asked me for mine yet. So how does it work?
No, and they should be. Who's the captain? Do you know?
Not off the top of my head.
I would just send her a message and just say, hey, are you going to create a group for us, or do you want me to? And
Okay.
let's just create a group, and then there you guys should talk about getting everyone's IDs and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, question about Success Club points, kind of backtracking a little bit.
No, that's fine.
If you get more, like, so say you get 6 instead of 5 or whatever, 8 instead of whatever, do those roll over, or is it just like whatever you get in that month?
That's a good question. So
And she's on.
yeah, every month it stops. So like, for example, I just posted in our team page about Success Club, and I was like, I'm at Success Club 31. So that's going to end at the end of the month. And then the next month it's going to start back at 0. So at the end of the month it's done. And the incentive, like over 10, it doesn't really matter. So like your main goal is either 5 or 10. 5 is the one that gets you just free people that are coming to you, that they'll get their email and their number, and you can contact them in the hopes that maybe they would join you on your team or as a challenger or something like that you could help in the future. They have not bought anything yet. 10, if you hit Success Club 10 or above, that is when you get the free Shakeology leads. You'll get free people too, but you'll also get some Shakeology leads, which is just free commission, free money, which is just like, it's just a perk. So that's the 2 differences though. So like hitting like above and beyond doesn't really matter. It's just like, it just kind of happens. And then it just rolls that you're just done. And then you start at 0 again at the beginning of the next month. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Okay. All right. We are going to move on. Okay. The next thing that I wanted to talk about really quickly, just I'm thinking of like main things to really set yourself up for success. The other thing, oh, he's starting to cry. Okay. Hopefully he'll be quiet. Hopefully you can hear me still. The next thing is success partners. So if you just joined, you might not know what that is. And it's definitely not imperative that you have a success partner, but I will tell you that it helps so much to kind of find somebody that you can kind of like, I guess, like buddy up with, to host different challenges, to kind of just bounce ideas off each other, to ask them for advice. It could be somebody who started right along the same time as you. So anybody in this group, it could be somebody else in the team. But after this call, I'm gonna bump up the post, because there's a whole post in our team page about success partners, where everyone has kind of said a little bit about them. Hi, my name is Ashley. I'm a new mom. I live in Georgia. It's my goal to quit working by May, or, you're giving your goals for the business. Essentially, you want to kind of partner up with somebody who has similar goals as you do. Obviously, when I was teaching and working full-time, I wanted to pair up with somebody who had that same goal in mind, that they wanted to quit teaching, they wanted to get out of their job and really build the business aggressively. So if I was going to partner up with somebody, I want somebody with similar goals to really want to push hard. I don't want to be with somebody who's just working it as a hobby. Does that make sense? Because it's like our goals don't align really. And so I may be pushing way harder and pulling a lot of the weight in our groups that somebody else isn't. So just something to be thinking about. And it doesn't have to be, I was in a training today actually, and it was interesting because they did not do actual success partners, like just 2 people. They did like groups of 4. So they did like almost like little like mini like success partner teams, if you will. So you can do that too. This is your business. So it is whatever you want to do with it. It can be whatever you want it to be, whatever you think is going to make you successful. So just because I do it or just because I say to do it doesn't mean you have to. It's just kind of like a suggestion. So that is just kind of like a little plug for that. I totally think it's worth it to have a partner or somebody to kind of work with when you start hosting your own challenge groups and things like that. And that's all going to come in your new coaches training. So if you are a brand new coach, don't worry about what all that means yet. You're going to be learning about what a challenge group is and learning about things like that in your new coaches training. So don't get too stressed out on all that. But has anyone partnered up with anybody yet? Does anyone have a success partner yet? I think some of you guys have like kind of started to think about it. So and that's good. And I will say, like, it doesn't have to be set in stone. It could be somebody that you decide to host a group with one week, and then maybe the next month you're like, oh, we're just really not clicking. It's kind of like dating. It's like, okay, like we're just really not working. It's not you, it's me, you know, like let's break up. So it can totally be like that too. And some people just get really lucky and they stay with the same partner for years. You know, there's girls that are like top coaches that have worked together on groups and challenges for 4 years now, you know, and others who it just doesn't work. So totally your call, but I do highly recommend getting paired with somebody. If you're struggling with trying to find somebody, message me and I'll help you kind of pair you up with somebody who has a similar why as yours or a similar goal in mind, because that can kind of help you too, that you guys have something in common. Any questions about success partners or why that's important? Okay, cool. All right, moving on. Okay, I want to talk about, this is like one other really important thing, and then I'm going to kind of let you guys have some time to ask questions too. Power of threes. Do you guys know what that is? Does anyone know what that is? Yes, I see. Raise your hand if you don't know what that is. Oh, kind of. Okay, kind of. All right, so your power of threes is basically, and you're going to learn about this in your training as well, but while I'm talking, let me try to talk and move to the Google Drive at the same time. But the power of threes is basically when you are working your business, depending upon however much time you have to devote to it. It could be that you're working this on the side, and so maybe you literally only have 1 hour to work a day, and that's totally fine. Or maybe you work like me and you work like 6 or 7 hours a day, you know, whatever it is. You need to be tracking who you're talking to and tracking what you're posting and tracking different things, because when you get months down the road and you're trying to think of people to invite or people to follow up with that maybe you invited in the past and you don't have anything written down, you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, did I message her already? Did I send her an email? Oh, I can't remember. And so if I had not been tracking this now a year into the business, I can go back through and think, okay, all these people told me no. So I'm going to go back through. I'm going to re-invite them all this year. Maybe something's different. Maybe this year they want to join me. And so it helps to kind of have this tracker. So I'm going to show you an example of one, and everybody does something different. There's no right or wrong way. If you are somebody that's electronically savvy, then this may be something good for you. If not, then you can do pen and paper. What I do is I literally have a notebook. This is not it, but it's over there with my son. I'm not going to let him see me because he'll start crying again. But I have a notebook, and what I'll do is I'll open it up, and on the left-hand side, on the top, I'll say, sorry, you can't see my face. I'll say contact list. And literally, I'll just jot down anybody that I talked to that day, whether it's like I comment on their picture, or I would write down Clark signed up a coach, Jordan talked about coaching, or Margaret interested in P90X. I would just jot down just little notes for me to remember things. Then on the right side of the page, I have my to-do list. Literally anything that I want to get done that day. And usually I'll kind of write it out the day before, so that when I wake up to go and do my 1 hour of work, then over here I have, okay, need to welcome Clark onto the team page. Need to do the dishes, need to do the laundry. You know, it can be and all your other household things as well. But it just kind of helps you to have everything laid out in one place. So that works for some people who are pen and paper gals, then that is, go for it. If you're not, then let me show you another option. I'm trying to find, where is my power of threes? Oh, here we go. Am I screen sharing? Can y'all see that? Yeah? Okay. Another tracker that you can use is something online, and this is in the team page, or in your Google Drive. And this is an electronic version that you can save and make a copy of. And so this is just another way that you could do it. It just helps to kind of have something in front of you to think, because when you only have a little bit of time to build your business, which all you really need is 1 hour a day, honestly, if you just want to kind of create this consistency, is use a sheet like this. And so up here, I would have, this is kind of like my to-do list. So I've got, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the way across, and then going down. And so every week I just make a copy of this and I make a new one. And so maybe I'd write down any of my to-do list things for the day here. Maybe I need to create a graphic, or I want to share about a new challenge group I'm hosting, something like that. Then 3 times a day, I'm going to add, or not 3 times a day, every day I'm going to add 3 new people to my network, whether that's on Facebook or on Instagram. So ways to do, and I have a video on this so you guys can see what this is like. But you're going to friend 3 people. It could be a new person that you find to follow on Instagram. It could be a mutual friend of somebody that you're friends with on Facebook, anything like that. Then messaging and adding value. This is the way that you get your stuff into people's newsfeed, the way that you get people to see what you're doing. So it could be something simple like just commenting on their picture, saying that you love their dress or you love their outfit or their kids are getting so big or that dinner looks amazing. What's the recipe? I mean, anything like that. Hold on. Let me get my son really quick so you guys can hear me still. Hold on 2 seconds. Hey. You want to be part of the call? Okay, I'm going to stand for a second so that you guys can still hear me. He's being a little pain in the booty tonight. Okay, so we were talking about messaging. So every day you want to try to send out some messages to people. It could be an invitation to something. And it, like I said, it could just be something adding value to their lives. When you think about adding value, think about just saying something nice, complimenting them, or just saying that it's great to catch up or that you'd love to get coffee. I mean, it could be anything depending upon, you know, who the person is. Then you have a whole section for follow-ups. So if somebody had expressed interest in maybe a program that you were doing, or maybe you did a challenge group post, you're like, join my February group or whatever, and there was people that left their emails there, that's where you're going to put that. You're going to put their email there, and that's who you're following up with, just so you can track it, because then when you get to the end of the week and you're like, okay, who did I not talk to yet and that wanted to talk to me about this group? Then you can just look back and see who you talked to, and that's so much easier. Then presenting the business, which is like the scariest part for everybody as a coach. So once you make like your coming out post saying like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a coach. So once you're out of the closet with that, then you can start sharing about what you're doing as a coach. So if you like look at my page, you see that a lot of times, like I'll sprinkle it in. I'm never like, join my team, or like, I'm a coach, you know, it's like just little things like, I love that I get to be home with my son, or, you know, I love that I like tonight we'll take a picture of our screen, and you guys could share that and say like, I love my Tuesday nights because I get to hang out with a bunch of really inspiring women. I mean, easy things like that. So just different ways that you can kind of present the business, present what you love about it. And as a new coach, you know, it's going to take a little bit of time to kind of get there and start getting to where you have some things to say about coaching. But you also can be sharing about, you know, a lot of you guys were previous challengers, or you're working on different programs and stuff. And so you can be sharing about that, share about your transformation story through that, share about how Shakeology maybe is changing your, you know, your nutrition or your skin, or, you know, different things like that, different things that talk about coaching or about just the different products that you're using, being a product of that product, not selling it, but just focusing on sharing about it because you truly love it. That makes it sound less scary and less, I mean, well, none of us are saleswomen or anything like that. So it's just nice to be able just to share your story. And then the last couple of things that you'll track, your post. So, and this is in your new coach packet. My recommendation is that you post at least 3 times a day. And there will be days where I'm like, holy crap, I could literally post every hour. I have so many things to post about today. And then there's other days where I'm like, womp womp, like I have nothing to post about today. I got to think of something and I have to get like creative. So, and you're going to have days like that. And that's where you like throw like a nice motivational quote out there, or, you know, maybe you take a picture of your food and share, you know, a recipe. People are always looking for tips and ideas and things like that. And that's who you are. You are now here to inspire people and to just share, you know, share how you're getting through life as a crazy mom, or as a businesswoman, or as a wife, or a nanny, or whatever you are, and how you're doing it the healthy way. And so that's some things that you can focus on posting. But for me, the way that I kind of lay out my posts is once a day I choose to do something motivational, whether it's a quote like that I find on Pinterest. Pinterest has great, adorable quotes that you can use. Or whether it's like I take a picture of something and I put a quote over it. That's an option too. Then the other thing that I post about is nutrition. So maybe it could be Shakeology and I share about why I love it. It could be a recipe. It could be my food and sharing that I love this chicken apple sausage that I always share about because I love it so much. You know, whatever it is. And then I also share about fitness. and I share about my workout for the day, like a little video, or maybe just, a quick selfie. And I talk about what I'm doing. People get excited about different programs because they feel like they're getting to follow your journey through you doing it. So think about that too when you're sharing about different workouts and stuff. Good Lord, you're so heavy. Okay. What else? The last thing on there, oh yeah, and then just your own personal health. Drinking your Shakeology every day, working out every day, doing some personal development. As a new coach, and I'll be honest with you, I was horrible at doing personal development when I was a new coach. I would skip it all the time. I would maybe listen to some little training videos here and there. But as far as like actually reading like a personal development book or listening to a podcast, I would put that off. And then that would be the one thing that I wouldn't do. And y'all, I wish that I could take it back, because there were weeks and months where I'd have, some no's, and people would be not interested in joining me, and it would get to me. And so if I can give you one piece of advice, is to not skip that. You have to do personal development. We're human, and we are women, and we are emotional beings. And so when you're inviting people and you're being vulnerable and maybe you don't get that response back that you were hoping for, it can be hard unless you're working on yourself and you're working on personal development and learning how to be a leader and how to deal with little rejections like that, and how to kind of just brush it off and use that to fuel you to invite more people and to talk to more people and not let that get you down. So that is my one piece of advice, is do not put that to the very end. Start your day with that, whether it's reading the Bible, whether it's reading a devotion, whether it's reading a book. There's a whole list in our Google Drive under coaching resources. And there's literally a whole list of personal development books, whether it's you want to learn how to be a better leader, you want to learn how to be more confident, you want to learn how to deal with rejection, you want to learn how to be more productive. I mean, everything I have in there is categorized for you by what you're looking for, what would meet you where you're at, what would help you as you start your coaching business. So those are a couple of things there. And then the last thing is making sure you check in on your team pages every day. Don't forget to before you go to bed, don't forget to check the team page. Check the inspiration crew, check maybe the message thread, see if you missed anything. And this is more, obviously, when you get more coaches, if you have people that you're in contact with. But, if I ever post anything in the team page, it's important. It's because it'll help you. So you want to make sure to at least check in there once or twice a day, maybe in the morning and once at night, just so you make sure you don't forget anything. Are there any questions about the Power of Threes? And I know this is a lot of information, but hopefully, you can rewatch this training too, and then always.
I have one question. Sorry, the baby's crying. I know you talked about personal development. Did you have one that you'd say, even though there's all those different categories, one that you thought would like start with this one as far as the books, knowing that they're different topics?
The one that I recommend to everybody to start with is The Slight Edge. And it's by Joel, oh my gosh, I totally forget his name right now. But you'll see, it's called The Slight Edge. If you prefer to listen, there you can actually get it on YouTube for free. You can listen. So all of you guys who work full time and are, commuting or driving, I worked my business, and I worked like 13 hours a day, and I commuted like 3 hours both ways when I started building my business, and I worked my butt off, and I did not get a lot of sleep and everything. But personal development, that's why I started. I was like, oh, I can't read a book. Like, I don't have time to do that. And so finally, then I was like, okay, Ashley, get a grip. Listen to stuff. So I would do podcasts, and I would do audio versions of all these books. But the first one that I started with is The Slight Edge, and you can find it on YouTube, and it's in 2 parts on there. So it's free, and you can listen to it. You can do it while you're driving. You can listen while you're cleaning, while you're making dinner. There's no excuse. So that's definitely the best one. It's all about just kind of just giving you that edge that you need, and just making you different in the midst of all these other people in the world. It's a really good book. It's a really inspiring book. So if I could suggest one, that's definitely one that's good. Some other ones that are good, let me try to think. If you have a problem with like productivity and like being productive and like getting things done. So like if you're really busy and you're working all day long and you but you really want to work the business, but you just can't get focused. Eat That Frog is a really great one, and it's a skinny book. It's really quick and an easy read. That's a great one, all about just how eating your frog, like your frog is the one thing that you're like, ugh, I hate doing this. And like for me, my frog is inviting people. And so in the morning, that's the first thing that I do. I eat my frog first and I invite people first. And then I go ahead and I do everything else. So it's a cool book. That's a really fun one. And then the other one that's good is Go for No. And Go for No is a tiny, tiny book. Like you literally could read it in one like 30-minute sitting on the elliptical or something if you wanted to. And that's just all about how to just encouragement on inviting people and going for that no. Like the more people that tell you no, that's the more people that could potentially be people in the future that would join you as a coach or as a challenger, or want to do a program in the future. Questions about anything else like that? Sorry, just making you busy.
I did the Power No, and it's on audiobook for like $5 on Amazon Smile. So
awesome. Yeah, Amazon Prime and stuff is great too. Audible. A lot of people use Audible a lot, the podcast app. Another thing too, like if you're just looking for something to listen to, or if you have like a day where maybe you have like 4 people tell you no, like I don't want to join you because it's too expensive, and you're like, well, crap, I feel horrible about myself right now. Then go onto the podcast app and listen to the old National Wake Up Calls. You can actually find the Beachbody app on there, and the National Wake Up Calls are every Monday where top coaches just talk and they share about different tips and things like that. It could be overcoming rejection. It could be talking about how to be successful. I mean, just all kinds of different topics. And those are always like only like 15 or 20 minutes. So those are always great too, if you need some extra like audio stuff to listen to. Are you gonna make it? He's being such a little stinker. Okay. What else was I gonna talk about? Really, that's it. Because everything else is in your new coach packet, like social media type things. As you're starting to do your coming out post and share with people that you're coaching, a lot of you have already done that. If you haven't yet, then just like post a little note in the team page and say, hey guys, super nervous. I just did my coach post. Can you go give it some love, or can you go comment on it? And our team is so supportive. And so it helps to have a couple people go and comment on it and everything, just to kind of give you that motivation and that support. And then other than that, as far as like apps and things to use, that is all in the new coach packet as well. A bunch of just different apps that I use that I personally put on a categorized list for you, as far as like videos and
oh, she's got gas. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on mute. There you go. Okay. And then yeah, so if you have questions about that, I'm not going to go into a whole social media thing. Actually, in your new coaches training, I'm the one who does the social media training. So if you haven't gotten there yet, you'll be seeing me soon. And I do a whole training on that for you. And then the last thing I guess I'll talk about is, do you guys know what being an Emerald coach is? That's kind of like your first benchmark as a coach. And the reason why you want to do that, the reason why you want to get to Emerald, which is having 2 people signed up under you. So like, this is me. Then I have 1 coach over here and 1 coach over here on both legs. And the reason that you want to do that is because once you become Emerald and you hit your Success Club 5 or Success Club 10, that's when you're eligible to get those free leads or those Shakeology leads. So it's super important. So like if in your first month you think that you're going to hit Success Club 5, then if I were you, I would find a family member, I would find a spouse, I would find a friend, 2 people who you can say, hey guys, let me just shoot straight with you. I need you to do this for me. I need you to sign up. I need you to work out with me. And we're going to do this together, and you're going to help my business, and that's what's going to happen. And so for me, that's what I did. I signed up my husband, and I signed up one of my good friends who signed up as my first coach. And I hit Emerald, and I knew that I was going to hit Success Club 10. So after my first month, I knew that I was going to get those free Shakeology leads, and that was like my goal. Every single month, I would continue to do that. And so definitely that should be like your main goal towards the beginning, is to hit Success Club, and then also to be just thinking about how you can move towards being an Emerald coach so you can start getting those free leads and stuff, because that does help obviously it's not all about income, but if you are working this to try to get out of a situation, or you need to make some extra money, or you're wanting to leave your job and stuff, then that's kind of the mindset that you need to have. You need to be after helping people every single month. And so that's just a really great indicator that you're doing so. Okay, that's about all I have. So questions for me now, or questions that I can help you with.
Okay, I have 2 questions.
Go for it.
Okay, I was wondering about, sorry, it's really loud. Like, okay, so in getting that Emerald and just signing someone up to be another coach, can you remind me how much their Shakeology discount would be with the shipping, in the sense of like on the monthly, what their requirements are?
Yeah, it's they get 25% off, you guys all have 25% off of your Shakeology every month. And so, as a coach, you can sign up either one with a challenge pack, which is your of the program, or you can sign up without that, and you sign up with just the $40 coaching fee. But it does not make you active as a coach. So that means that you would either have to order something eventually, or you have to hope that you're going to get enough orders to get your volume up to where you would be an active coach in that first month. Which, to be an active coach, you have 50 personal volume, which those of you who are on Shakeology, you're more than taken care of. So you don't have to worry about that, which most of you are on Shakeology. So don't even worry about that. But I don't even remember what your question was, Jordan, about
like what their total monthly is, because you have to pay Beachbody on demand plus the 15 plus the Shakeology to be active.
It ends up being like $99 a month, I think. And there's a what's it called? There's a graphic in the Google Drive. So when you guys go into that Google Drive, which remember that link is in your new coach packet, in there, right when you click on the Inspiration Crew, you open it up and there's a whole folder that says Shakeology. And in there is a graphic that breaks it down for people. So if somebody was like, well, how much money am I really going to save? Then you can send them that graphic, and it shows them like what it would be without the coaching discount, what it is with the coaching discount, and the amount of money that they save in that first month and then over the course of a year. Does that make sense? So that's like a nice thing that you can also send people, just to kind of get them clued in on what kind of discount what that really looks like.
Do you have to have on demand to be active? I just really like my DVDs, and so do you think about on demand or no?
Right. You do not have to. Now, when you become an Emerald coach, to be eligible to actually partake in those free leads that you would get from Hitting Success Club, you do have to have on demand. And that's the $40 quarterly fee. So it's only taken out 4 times a year. It's not monthly.
Ashley, does the discount on Shakeology automatically convert when you sign up as a coach? So like I sign up with a challenge pack, it'll automatically renew. Yeah. But does that automatically take as well?
Yes. Yeah. You'll automatically get that discount every month.
Great. Thank you.
And so the great thing about, as we're talking about Success Club and I'm drilling on Success Club, not only is it an indicator of helping people every month, but it pays for your Shakeology. So you're coaching for free basically. And then anything above that, you're making your profit. You're starting to make some commission off of that. So that was my goal. I was like, my husband and I were like, okay, I'll sign up, but I have got to help 3 people because we're not paying for this every month. and so that was my goal. So if you can make it your goal to find 3 people to help, even if it has to be like your warm market, even if you have to be thinking about friends and family first and people you work with, people who you don't have to be all formal with, when you're talking to them, you can just be like, hey dude, this program rocks. You got to just join me. Okay. Like just trust me, just get it. And so things like that, it helps when you can just talk to friends and family and things like that as you're kind of starting out and getting that confidence to just talk about different things with people. Really? He says yes too. So, so yeah, I don't remember what I was talking about that, but does that help at all? Anything? Is there any other things you guys are like, oh my gosh, I totally don't understand or I need help? I'm just hoping that this kind of just gives a little bit of an overview.
At what point did you create like a fitness page? Like I've seen some people like befriending coaches and other coaches. I've seen some people have already done that like pretty early on, or did you do that later on when? Because otherwise, I feel I don't want to create one and just post on that. Like as far as not post on my personal page, because
that's
warm market. But
that's a great question. So when I started. And it's really, it's kind of like up to you what you want to do, because I personally I have not started to build my Fit page until probably about a month ago. And so when I started coaching, I did start a Fit page immediately, but I posted the same thing on my personal page and my Fit page and my Instagram. And it was the same thing on all three things, which is not a bad thing. It's just getting it out there in three different places. Now, Fit page, you have to really build it. So I wasn't building it. So what I was kind of finding was that the only reason that I really liked having a Fit page was that I could pull people off of Instagram and be able to talk to them there. So if I had somebody comment on a picture on Instagram, I could easily say, hey, actually, can you contact me on Facebook? Because it's so much easier to talk on Facebook than, there's more room to message than on Instagram. So that's kind of how I used it, honestly, for like 10 months. And then I finally started to kind of use the Fit page a little bit more. I'd post a little bit more on it. Once I started seeing that I had more followers, I would start boosting posts and boosting my page. But again, that costs money. So until you're ready to budget it and really think about actually trying to get it out there, it's really not all that worth it. So if I were you, I would wait a little while, unless you just want to have something to kind of just start, just to build it up. Do you see him right now? He's eating my hair. So you can have that just to build up over the month, but until you're really ready to actually invest in it, it's really not all that worth it. So because you can easily use just your personal Facebook and then your Instagram. So it's really up to you what you'd like to do. I started with one because that's what my coach told me to do. And it worked out fine, but I would have been totally okay had I not have had one as well. Does that make sense? So if you're kind of overwhelmed and oh my gosh, this is going to be too many pages for me to have, then don't worry about doing the Fit page right now. It's not going to make or break you.
Okay, that's what I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So you, at some point you said that you were using the Boost thing on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
Did you Boost on a post or on your Fit page?
Okay, on the page. So those of you who have a Fit page, you can listen. If you don't, then don't worry about it. But so like I said, I did not start boosting things until I take that back. I tried a few times early in my business, and I was like, this is a waste of money. Nobody's commenting on it. And so when I realized, it was because I only had 200 people that liked my Fit page. So they're all my friends and family. So they are friends on my profile. So that was not working for me. So now that I've been growing my team more and stuff, and I started really thinking this year about new things that I could start doing. Can you stop? I started to build my Fit page, and I boost my page. And so when I boost it with a video, a quick 30-second video. I'm sorry, y'all. A quick 30-second video of me and him actually doing a mommy baby workout. And you can only have 90 characters, so you can only say something really short and sweet. And I boosted that, and y'all, I have gone up from I had 400 followers on that page to over almost 5,000 followers in 2 weeks from boosting my page. So totally doable, but you have to invest in it. You have to be willing to pay $2 or $3 a day to boost it for a couple weeks and start getting some more people, which is totally worth it. But if you're not to a place where you can afford to do that, then it's not worth having a Fit page right now, to be honest. So Courtney, once you start boosting your actual page for a couple weeks, then you can start boosting posts, because then you're going to have people who are following your page who are going to actually interact with your post. Does that make sense? Okay, cool.
I have maybe a dumb question.
It's not. Ain't no a dumb question.
Okay, so I love you. Kate, hush for a minute. Each leg, like, is that just because you need 2 legs to stand on, or are they in 2 totally different categories? Like, I don't understand.
Basically, starting from when I created our organization, everyone's either on a left leg or a right leg. Everyone has a right leg and a left leg, and everyone has a strong leg and a weak leg. And this is like a talk for another time because it talks about like team cycle bonuses and things like that. But there is basically every leg has a certain amount of volume attached to it. And that is based upon people above you in your upline and people below you in your downline. And all it means is that that's just the amount of things that have been sold, the amount of volume that is assigned to both legs. And then every time you have 200 points of volume on your strong leg and 100 points of volume on your weak leg, you cycle. So, and that goes based upon your rank. So like if you're an Emerald coach, every cycle you get $14. Then as a Diamond coach, you get, or a Ruby coach, you get $16, and then a Diamond coach, you get $18. So like you see all these top coaches that make like bajillions amount of money. It's all because of those cycles, because they have such humongously huge teams and everyone's working together and everyone's creating volume for the team. And so everybody's cycling a ton and imagine getting like 10 cycles of $16. I mean, that's a lot of money. So that's all that it matters about the legs. So, and you're going to learn that in your new coaches training, but that's like a specific talk for like a whole nother day, because we could talk about that for like an hour. So
one other question. So I'm doing a challenge group with 2 other coaches. And so I know like when I joined your challenge group,
yeah,
I joined the challenge group, but I also joined like the fit crew part of it. So how does that work for like people that you bring into your challenge group at the very beginning?
Right. So we have a place that we just started doing where it's kind of like a 21-day boot camp type thing, where they'll go in for, whether it's like the Love Your Body Challenge or whatever you're doing, whatever your theme is for the month. And they'll have like 21 days where they really get into their program. And then you can move them into your fit club if you choose to have something like that. For me, I chose to create kind of like this club atmosphere to where anyone who's ever been a challenger or a customer of mine, that way I can constantly keep in contact with them, as opposed to only hosting a challenge for like 30 days and then they just like go away, And so the Fit Club is kind of a place, like I thought of a fun name, and then I just added all my past challengers into there. So as you're hosting your first challenge group, whether it's a free group is just a free group, and that's just a fun place. That's where you guys should start. A free group is a place where you can allow anybody to join. It's free, so you get a lot more people that are interested, and that is like your time to shine. That is your time to show people how you're going to support them, to show them what kind of coach you are, to show that you're going to be sharing motivational and helpful things, that you're going to comment on their posts and be supportive. That's your time to prove that to them. So then after that, the hope is that you would go into promoting or sharing about a paid challenge group, and that's where they join with like a program or ultimately a challenge pack, since we know that that's the best way to start with a program. And you can invite those people who are in your free challenge groups to that group and say something like, hey, I hope you really liked this free group. I don't know if you'd be interested, but I'm hosting a similar group this next week, but it's a little bit more specific. Like it's a little bit more one-on-one. It's going to be more devoted to your health and nutrition, whatever you want to tell them about the group, and you can invite them into that. And so that would be a longer group, one that's like 21 to 30 days or however long you want to make it personally. And then you create a group for it, and you support them and you host them in that. And then it's up to you whether you want to just end the group there, and you can invite them to move on into your next group with that same program if you're hosting like a March group or an April group or whatever your theme is, or you can put them into a fit club that you create yourself, which is what I started doing. Does that make sense, kind of? Okay.
Would you recommend inviting them like individually, like through personal message, or like if you have a free challenge, like throw it out there for everybody in the free challenge to see? Like, what would you recommend?
To join like you mean?
Yeah, to like join if you do like a challenge.
Okay, yeah, I do both. So usually like at the end of a group, at the end of my free group, I'll say like, stay tuned. I've got another challenge group coming up, stay tuned for more information, or comment below if you want more information. And I'll do that in the page. But then I will also personally message or voice message. I love the voice messenger on Facebook. It's so easy on the messenger. Not only does it make it more personal, they can hear your voice, but it's also it's just easier, so you don't have to type so much. And I would personally invite each of them. Hey girl, I'm so glad you joined my hydration challenge. I hope you had a blast. My next group is called blah, 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 blah. And here's a little bit of information about it. I don't know if you'd be interested, but I'd love to share more with you if you are. Something as simple as that.
Really quick question about files in your challenge group. So we created a Facebook group for our paid challenge that starts on the 7th.
Okay.
And I haven't added any files yet, but want to have some in there as we start adding people so they can check it out. So are there some that we definitely should have? I looked at yours for the Fit Club, and there's like Shakeology recipes, and I think one other thing.
It's totally up to you. I used to like add like a million files, and I was like, holy crap, I'm not doing this for every single group. This takes forever.
It can get lost too. Like in some of ours, you find yourself scrolling.
Right. So what I started doing is I would make a Google Drive, and I would make my own folder to it. And then I would just share that link I would make a file in the actual team, like in the group page or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I would put that link in there and just say link to meal plans or link to whatever. So like in my Fit Club, if you go there and you click up there in the file section, that's pretty much the only thing that you'll see in there. And then so everyone can go in there, click that link, and then they see all of the meal plans that they can use with their program and things like that.
Do you wait to see like of your challengers what programs they're using and then determine what you're going to add?
Yeah, I do. And honestly, you can actually copy and paste that same link and use that for your group because it's a private folder, and it has meal plans, just general ones. It has a meal plan for busy moms. It has meal plans and recipes for the 21-day fix. So you could actually just copy and paste that and do the same thing like I did in my Fit Club in your actual challenge group if you wanted to.
Okay.
But I always just give them that whole link. That way it's, to each his own. If they want to actually steal some of the recipes from the 21-day fix, even if they're not doing it, then by all means go for it. And then you can always add other things in there. But, throughout the weeks and throughout the months, you'll be sharing little helpful tips like about water or about why it's good to work out in the morning, or, all kinds of tips that we all have to share with people.
Okay.
Ashley, I wanted to ask you a little bit about like timeline that you would recommend of free groups and then changing over to the paid challenge groups and such. And since all of us are kind of starting out new, how those should go straight back to back or wait until we have good followers, or kind of what you would recommend with that.
Let me show you. So I don't know if you guys saw the team calendar or not, but let me see if I can get it out here. Okay. So we have a team calendar that I put out, you're pulling my hair, every month for the next month. And so this is nice that you guys are actually coming up into a full actual new month. So like for me, so for some of you who literally just started, if you want to hop in my free group and promote it with me, then I totally invite you to do so, because that might be really nice for you to just be able to invite and then have someone else leading it. But this is the team calendar for February. And this is just how I personally schedule out my month. Here we go. Okay. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I think you can. Okay, so this is, and I make this every month for everybody to use. So here's February. Okay, so for me, usually I start my challenge group, like the new challenge group, like I was just talking about right here on the first Monday of the month. And then the next Monday, the second Monday of the month, I start my free group. And that is like just a 5-day fun free group. So for me, for this month, it's called Too Sweet for Treats. And it's like a sugar detox group. So if any of you new coaches want to do that one, I have graphics for it already. We can promote it together, and you guys can join in my group and just kind of learn what a challenge group looks like and be able to just kind of support and invite people. So Meredith, if you wanted to do that with me, you can do it just to kind of get a feel for things. And then every month, we're going to go over this tomorrow in a big team call, but so just so you kind of know how it goes, then every third Thursday of the month, we have a sneak peek into coaching. So if you know people that kind of know that you've been working, a lot of you guys are past challengers, so people who you think might be interested in doing something like you're doing, because maybe you've been talking for months about how you love the 21-day fix or things like that, you can invite them to our sneak peek, and it's just an all-day event like maybe some of you have actually been to, and you see all the posts all day long, and they're just quick and short, and they can kind of learn about our team and learn about what coaching is all about. And we do that. So these are all things that we do every single month. And I think that's pretty much it for that. And then, you know, there's the team calls are always written down in here. The new coach call is written down in here. And just like little reminders, like Tuesdays and Thursdays are great days to share about coaching or to share transformation or share about what you love about becoming a coach recently. I share like when you should start promoting for your free group. I share ideas of, you know, Sundays you can share your meal prep, or if you're working full time, it might be a good idea to kind of like start planning out some of your posts ahead of time. So 2 things that I've done for that: you can buffer out your posts with a site called Buffer. Buffer.com, and that means you literally can schedule out your entire month if you wanted to, with all your posts down to the time, down to the day, down to everything, with the picture and a graphic or the link or whatever, and have things already planned out if you want it. If you're a planner and like to do things like that, you can plan out your posts that way. And there's also Hootsuite. Allie, I don't know if you started using that or not. I don't love that one as much. I like Buffer a little bit better, but some people like Hootsuite a lot. And that's just another scheduler type, like website that you can use. And then one thing that I've been doing recently is I have a group called My Post, and I make a Facebook group and I add my husband in, and then I delete him right after I make it so that it's just me in there. And the reason that I do that is, one, it takes away from the storage on my phone, because having a bunch of pictures on my phone, I never have enough storage. And so in that group, I have my own Facebook group, and I just post pictures in there, and I post little statuses or things that I think that I would eventually ever want to post. And so like, I'll see like cute motivational quotes, or like, I'm like, oh, that would be a great picture. And I'll just take a picture and I'll go ahead and I'll post it like it's a post, but in a Facebook group that's just me. And so then throughout the days when I'm busy, you know, out and about running errands, or if you're working full time, what I would do is I'd be like, at lunchtime, I'd be like, okay, I know I've got this picture. I'm going to quickly make a post real quick, because I have like my own, like my whole catalog of pictures and things in my own group. So a lot of coaches on our team have started to do that, and that's helped a ton. So, you know, as a new coach, there's so many things that you can do. There's so much information, and you kind of just got to figure out what works for you. Kind of figure out, you know, if you can't handle doing a paid group and a free group every month, then just start with one. If you can't handle posting 3 times a day, then start with just posting once or twice. You know, figure out what works for you. Don't overwhelm yourself, because the more, when you get to a point where you're like not looking forward to doing your work and stuff, then you need to reevaluate, and we need to figure out a better system for you, because this should be fun. I mean, you're posting and you're sharing and talking to people, and you know, it should be something fun and lighthearted and encouraging. So don't make it more stressful than it needs to be, for sure. And ask lots of questions. I'm always here to answer questions. Other coaches are always here to answer questions. You can post on our message threads. You can post in the team page. There's so much support for you. So don't ever be too prideful to ask questions, because we have all been there once, and I still have questions half the time for my upline coaches. So it's a learning process for sure. Anything else?
I just had a comment, not a question. So I got to check out Buffer, but I use Hootsuite because we use it for work, so I already knew how to use it. And then earlier this week, I got an email from somebody that saw my Instagram, and they said there's an app called Hopper. I don't know if anybody's heard of it. That is for Instagram, because Hootsuite doesn't let you schedule and post to Instagram.
Right.
So I haven't checked it out yet, but if anybody wants to, when they're looking at all those others.
You have to pay for that, I know.
Oh.
It's really pricey. I haven't done it yet, because that would be awesome if I could buffer out my stuff to Instagram.
I know.
Definitely one to look at, you know. So whatever helps you. Anything else? Any
Okay.
other questions? Did
I
this
had
help at all? I feel like that. Hopefully, this helped you a little bit just to get kind of like a grip on some things. And there's so many things I could share with you, but it's like these are just like the main first things that you should focus on. Some of like your very first groups. Talking about Success Club. Honestly, if you want to move forward and you want to be successful, all you need to do is help 3 people a month. That's all you need to do. So, those are some of the main things that you can do starting out. Jordan, did you have a question? I think
I did. I had 2 quick ones. One is, okay, as we to become enrolled and we're adding these coaches in, and you talked about like the videos talk about your spouse or your significant other being your weak leg. Does it automatically place that, or do you have to go in and move them?
Good question. You have to automatically, let me see if I can screen share it quickly. You have to automatically, or it doesn't automatically do that. You have to go in and do that yourself. Let me screen share real quickly. So if you're on your team page, I told you guys to open up your back office just so you can see. So I'm not signed in. Hold on one second. Once you're signed in, you're being so good, buddy. Okay, so once you're in your back office, and this is called your back office, and you guys will learn all the different terms and everything, but this is called your back office. So like your little website that you have. And when you get there, pretty much everything that you're going to need to do is in the My Business section of your back office. And so to do your placement, Jordan, you'll go to My Business and you can do 2 things. So you could say My Downline and go to Graphical Genealogy. And when you do that, you're going to see coaches that are above and possibly below you. Do not worry because they will not say PS. If they say PS, that means that you actually sign that coach up. If they don't say that, then don't worry about it. All they do is they just give you volume. So they're just there to benefit you. They're not your coach. You don't need to contact them. You don't need to do anything with them. They're there because another coach signed up a coach, and that's just where they fell in your downline. So for me, when I look at volume, how I'm going to know what my strong leg and my weak leg is, Jordan, is up here where it says LV and RV. It's not letting me click on it, but LV and RV. LV, so my left volume and my right volume. My left volume is lesser, and so that is my weak leg. And so that is the leg that I would want to have my husband on. Now, when I signed up as a coach and I started my business, my right leg was my weak leg. So mine have flip-flopped, and my husband, he was on my weak leg, but he's now on my strong leg. So it can change, but not until you have lots and lots of coaches underneath your belt. But for all essential purposes, you're going to look at LV and RV, and whichever one is the smaller number, that's your weak leg. And so you want to put them on you want to put them on the outside of that leg. So for example, we're going to say that my left leg is my weak leg. So I'm going to click on go to the bottom left. And I'm going to click right here. And I'm going to set my preferred placement. Does that make sense? Sorry, I don't even know if you could hear me because he's crying, but so that's how you set your placement. So left leg or right leg, but that's how you'll be able to see your strong leg and your weak leg.
So you set it after they sign up, or you set it before they sign up when you click that set placement?
Either way, doing it before definitely helps because that saves you having to send an email to fix it. But you can, if you were to make a mistake, if you were to accidentally put your husband on your strong leg, you would just email coachrelations@teambeachbody.com and you say, hey there, I'd like to move my husband so-and-so, coach ID, blah, 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 to my right outside leg or my left outside leg, and they'll switch it for you. And you have 5 days to switch your coach placement for a coach that you sign up.
So if you set one and then you add the second one, do you have to have gone in and put the second one to say right? But so like as soon as one signs up, you set your new preferred placement?
Yes.
Okay. And then my second question was, and I know there's videos on it, but just hearing it from you might be helpful in the sense of like really starting to invite people for a paid challenge group. Like what are some of the ways, like when you're specifically inviting and messaging and they're like, okay, what are you doing? And they want it free, of course. What are some ways to really promote it from that perspective? How you phrase it?
So there's a lot of different ways, and actually I use a script that is from Melanie Mitro. I like it because it kind of lays out exactly what it is that they're going to get in the Fit Club or in the challenge group or whatever, and also lets them know that like it kind of gives them the hint that there's going to be some money involved, that they're going to have to purchase Shakeology or get a program or something like that. And an example of what that could look like is, let's see. Okay, something like this, and this is in our team. This is in our Google Drive, actually. But something like this, and I say, like, it's so good to hear from you. And so this is after I've invited them, maybe, and I've said, hey, girl, like, or maybe I made a post about it, maybe like an invitation post to a challenge group, and maybe somebody left their email for me. This is something that I would send them. Or if I was messaging people and I just said, hey, Jordan, it's been so great catching up this week. I don't know if you'd be interested, but I'm actually hosting my next accountability group this week. And basically, it's just a really fun place for us to work out. And, we drink these amazing superfood shakes. And I just kind of go into a couple quick little things. And I'm like, it's a great place for us to, just be able to work out in community with other women who have similar goals in mind. I don't know if you're into health and fitness, but if you are, would you be interested in joining me? And so they might say yes or no. And you're like, great, let me send you over some more information. And then I would send them something like this. And usually I try to pull them onto an email where I can, write something out like this. But this kind of just lets them know everything that they're going to get. It gives them a little bit about Shakeology, a little bit about, how I'm going to hold them accountable, a little bit about the meal plan and just different things like that. And it lays it out. And so I've done a ton of different ways to kind of say this. And this has been the most effective way for me to be really like straightforward and be like, this is what you're getting. This is how I'm going to help you. It's been really effective. So try it. If you don't like it, then do something else. But this is in the Google Drive. I think under scripts, under coaching resources, and then scripts. If you can't find it, I'll look for it and I can post it in the page. Anything else before I let you guys go and enjoy your families and stuff, since I've kept you for like an hour? Anything else? Great. Well, I hope that helped a little bit. And like I said, there's so much that I could tell you and so many things. And hopefully that this didn't overwhelm you too much. Hopefully it helps you more than anything. But just know that I'm here to help you, whether I'm your upline coach or I'm the coach of your coach. I'm here to help you. So you can always post in that new coach page that we have. So if I just added you in there, that's our new coach page where you can ask questions, and I'll always have helpful things in there for you. So yeah, but just don't be worried about all the nitty gritty details. Just start sharing your journey, start kind of finding new people to reconnect with. And that's like the root of what we do, is just being, just sharing and inspiring and sharing your own journey, with other people in hopes that it helps them on their own journey and inspires them. He's about to melt down. So, okay, I'm going to let you go so that he doesn't scream for you guys. But let me know anything else, and I will. I always post this recording in our team page. So if you need to go back and listen, you can. Okay. Bye, you guys. Have a good night.
Bye. Good night.